Excerpt from The Girl in the Garden. I strongly suggest you start with the questions first, so I'm going to scroll down to the questions. Number 22. How do paragraphs 3 and 4 contribute to the story? Go back up. Question. Paragraphs 3 and 4 are labeled right here and here. How do paragraphs 3 and 4 contribute to the story? A. They help show Raki's kindness and ease around creatures in the outdoors. B. They help the reader understand Raki's concern of whether her grandmother will remember her. C. They provide evidence for Raki's love of singing Indian songs as a child. They give the reader insight into Raki's memories of her grandmother. Number 23. Which important idea does the author develop in paragraphs 7 through 9? Go back up and look at the numbers for paragraphs 7 through 9. Which important idea does the author develop in paragraphs 7 through 9? A. Raki has lived a very exciting life. B. Raki wishes she had grown up in India. C. Raki has much to learn about her family's culture. Or D. Raki's family is typical of Indian families. Number 24. Which statement best describes how the narrator reacts to the events in paragraphs 8 and 9? Go back up and look at paragraphs 8 and 9 when you do this question. A. She becomes more appreciative of her mother. B. She is uneasy about the change in her mother. C. She becomes confused by her mother. Or D. She admires the change in her mother. Number 25. In paragraph 9, what is the meaning of the phrase, "It streamed down her back in a lustrous river"? A. Her long hair was flowing and shiny. B. Her long hair was damp from being in a bun. C. Her long hair seemed heavier than normal. D. Her long hair moved steadily in one direction. Question 26. What does paragraph 9 most reveal about the narrator's mother? A. That she is more talkative when she is in India. B. That she follows customary traditions when she is in India. C. That she is more self-conscious when she is in India. Or D. That she visits many people when she is in India. Number 27. Which statement best states a theme of the story? Which statement best states a theme or a lesson of the story? What it's teaching? A. Families can be surprising. B. Beauty can be found in most things. C. Traveling to new places can be tiring. D. New experiences can change how we see the world. Next page. Number 28. How does the author most develop Raki's point of view, Raki's perspective, the way she sees things? How does the author most develop Raki's point of view? A. By comparing Raki's experience to her mother's experience. B. By having Raki describe her impressions of India. C. By showing Raki's alarm during the scene with the elephant. Or D. By including Raki's reaction to Amma's changed appearance. Now go back up to the text. Directions. And this is an important piece to read before you start the excerpt. Directions. Read the story. Again, this is a story, not an article. This is fiction. Then answer questions 22 through 28. Go back to those questions when you're ready. 10-year-old Raki Singh and her mother have flown to India from Minnesota to visit her mother's childhood home for the summer. Excerpt from The Girl in the Garden by Kamala Nair. Paragraph 1. We had to board a second plane, smaller and bumpier than the last, which carried us south along the western coast of the country. My heartbeat quickened as I peered out the window, down through the clouds, at the blue waves tossing and turning below us. My first glimpse of the ocean. Paragraph 2. Your grandmother will be so pleased to see you, Raki. Do you remember her? Your Muthashi? Amma asked over the whir of the engine. Paragraph 3. I did remember Muthashi, my grandmother. She had come to stay with us in Minnesota when I was around 3 or 4. I could not recall the exact details of her face, but I had a vague mental picture of a slight, skinny woman draped in white who used to sit me on her knee and sing a song in Malayalam about ants. Paragraph 4. I used to run out onto the driveway humming the ant song and guide a string of the black insects into my palm, weaving my fingers together and making a delicate cup with my hands. I would transport them into the house, giggling as the ants tickled inside their little cage. Muthashi would always act so pleased when I proudly deposited the squirming ants into her outstretched hand, although I'm sure she would let them out the back door as soon as I wasn't looking. Paragraph 5. Raki, continued Amma. I haven't told you much about our family, have I? Paragraph 6. I shook my head. Paragraph 7. Well, the Varmas are the most prominent, respected family in the village. My father was a doctor, and he started a hospital across the street from our home. He died a long time ago. So now my younger brother, Vijay, is in charge. You'll also meet my big sister, Sadhana, and her 3 daughters. One of them is about your age, and Vijay's wife, Nalini, who I have never met, recently had a baby boy. Everybody lives together at Ashoka. That's the name of the house where I grew up. You see, in India, families stick together under one roof. It's not the same as it is in America. Paragraph 8. This airport was not as crowded or chaotic as the one in Bombay, and the people seemed neater and more subdued. In the bathroom, Amma changed into a buttercup yellow sari and painted a red raindrop on her forehead with a bottle that she produced from her purse. I can't show up at home dressed like an American, she explained. Paragraph 9. I loved seeing that transformation from my regular mother who took the trash out every morning with a bulky coat flung over her nightgown to this wondrous creature. From the moment she put on the sari and released her hair from its bun so that it streamed down her back in a lustrous river. I would underline that. She appeared younger and somehow more natural. Paragraph 10. How do I look? She asked as she ran a comb through her hair. Paragraph 11. You look beautiful, Amma, I told her honestly. Paragraph 12. A compact man with a bushy mustache and a symmetrical crescent of sweat under each arm met us outside the airport, holding a sign with Mrs. Chitra Varma Singh and daughter printed across it in block letters. He led us through the thick heat toward a white car and loaded all our suitcases into the trunk. Amma and I both slid into the back seat. My legs stuck to the synthetic leather. Are you hungry, Molay? Amma asked me. We'll be home soon. But she sounded absent, as if my hunger was hardly her main concern. I stared out the window as we drove. Unlike the gray, arrow, straight highways I was accustomed to, here the roads were red and twisty. In the distance I could see groves of coconut trees, their green fronds waving against the sky like pinwheels, We passed forests of rubber trees and stretches of lime-green grassland that Amma told me were rice paddy fields. Wiry, mustachioed men with protruding rib cages spiraling down their torsos, and white cloths knotted around their waists. Those cloths are called mundus, explained Amma. Were scattered here and there in the treetops, tapping the trunks and collecting sap in metal buckets. Paragraph 15. At one point, the driver stopped the car abruptly. I leaned over the seat and was shocked to see a cow blinking her long black lashes at me. The driver honked the horn and she took her sweet time ambling out of the way. Paragraph 16. Soon after, I heard a dull thud and a hulking elephant rounded the corner, heading toward us, the tough black ripples of its trunk swaying to and fro. "Amma!" I cried. Paragraph 18. But Amma only laughed. "It's normal for elephants to walk around on the street here. Don't worry." Paragraph 19. A man wearing a faded blue turban and carrying a gnarled stick was riding atop the great animal. I waited for either the turbaned man to steer his charge out of the way or for the car to slow down, but neither thing happened. The driver pushed forward with alarming speed, straight toward the elephant. I gasped, but at the last second he swerved and both he and the man nodded politely to one another, as if this were perfectly normal. The elephant lumbered past the car window, so close that I could have reached out and brushed my fingers against its sagging hide. This here is a note. You go back to the number 1 by a word up above on one of the earlier pages. When the mother was putting a dot on her forehead, painted a red raindrop on her forehead, known as a bindi, which is a red dot painted on the forehead, commonly worn by Hindu women. Now, please make sure you go back and look at the questions again and use this text to help you answer the questions.